Hello and welcome to the edition of Red, White and Black, your connection to Black Canadian culture and events.
Yeah, well, I mean, for those, I guess, who don't know, Senator Meredith is a black senator in the Canadian Senate, which, you know, it's kind of a joke in its own right. But admitted to sleeping with a 16-year-old girl, which he then says, she was at the age of consent. So okay, or rather, I saw his lawyer speaking to the woman on CBC. What's her name?
Rosemary Barson.
Right. Who I absolutely love.
Good afternoon.
So why is the senator on a sick leave right now? Explain that part first, perhaps.
Well, he has some physical and some emotional issues that he's dealing with.
It's a sickness brought on by the report?
Part of it was brought on by the stress.
Why would it have been a psychological burden given the conduct that Senator Meredith admits to and says was a moral failing? What's a burden for him in that?
Well, Senator Meredith has, as you just said, he apologized, he asked for forgiveness, and he wants reconciliation.
Reconciliation with whom?
He wants reconciliation with his fellow senators, reconciliation with Canadians.
It does not apply when you are in a position of authority, as was the case for Senator Meredith, as you well know.
It was...
Point used his position as a senator to engage with this young woman?
He did not. I mean, the two of them met, and it seems like they struck up. They struck up a romantic relationship of sort, and he waited until she was 18, and they had sexual intercourse then.
This gives more credit to the idea proposed a few years back that the Senate should be dissolved. The Senate should just not exist anyway, because, and quite frankly, in Canadian politics, it doesn't serve to do much of anything but give people a paycheck, and they don't do much with it. This is a black senator, and should black community be supporting him? No. Straight off the bat, no. That's disgraceful, and it's not disgraceful because it's in any comparison to white people or anything like that. It's disgraceful because we should not be tolerating any form of pedophilia. And people might say, oh, well, she's technically the age of consent. Yeah, not when you're 60 some odd years old. That's just disgusting. 16 versus 60, there's a limit. Aside from that, we should look at the moral aspect of it, right? Which he doesn't deny. He says, oh, he was morally wrong, but legally using his right, so it doesn't matter. So he shouldn't be penalized for something that he's legally in his right. Well, we as a black community should be penalizing him physically in that right, because that is this is how we've traditionally taken care of things. But it's kind of one of those things where obviously we live in this structure in the Canadian context, and there's no way that anybody should accept that, right? That we should accept our daughters. Apparently they're at a Black History event, and that's how they met. And the black community should not be accepting, tolerating in any way. Now, it's one thing if to give a brother the benefit of the doubt, right? To be fair and to take it into consideration. Did he actually commit the crime? Did he do something wrong? He now admits that he did do something, as far as he's concerned, morally wrong. Once that is the case, the onus is on us to penalize him more. Yeah, absolutely. to speak about, well, whether that be financially, whether it be socially, making a social outcast, a pariah, or whatever. His mother should slap him. If she still happens to be on this planet, she should beat his ass. Anything, because these are our daughters. These are our children, and more importantly, than I stress that concept that these are our daughters. As men, in particular, we need to start taking responsibility for that and ensuring that we are protecting our children. I mean, that's your job. Yeah, I do think I do think that I don't feel that it's solely my right or responsibility to come up with the exact number. I do think that as a community we need to start having these types of discussions and coming up with those numbers, right? Personally, I look to how we have traditionally done things in ancient times. I look to how our ancestors formed their societies, because those societies worked, and they worked very well. Okay, and traditionally, before we the foreigners got involved in making our laws. Traditionally, what we would say is, if you are old enough to parent that child, or old enough to be that child's parent, then they are out of balance. Which would mean that if you're 15 years older, because their age, the average age for marriage in pre-colonial Africa was 15. So for a man anyway, and for a woman it was usually 12. So we had a 3-year gap there. But if you're 15 years, someone senior or beyond or older, totally out of bounds. You're old enough to be their parent. You're old enough to see them in diapers.
Yeah.
Then you shouldn't be touching.
Well, I think in Don's case, he was old enough to be a great grandparent.
Yeah, and that makes it disgusting. And you know what? I think more to that point is that we also have to start wondering why it is we're so obsessed with youth, especially with in women. Why it is that we as men, right? And people will say, oh well, there's obviously because girls are they're in their prime and yada yada yada. Okay, so first off, our women, I was at an event last night, an all-African event last night. Woman was, one of the women was dancing in the event, right? She was doing some traditional dances from West Africa, from Cameroon there, and one of the women says to me, you know how old this woman is? And had I guessed, I would have probably said, late 30s, early 40s. She said this woman's 68 years old, and she's doing, traditional dances.
Yeah.
And her face, her skin, and you know what? And I wasn't even being generous there, because that's the oldest I would have pegged her.
Right.
And so it's not like our women have any, our women don't sag, they don't, they don't lose their luster, so it's not like they're even getting to an age where they're undesirable in the physical sense. So what is this obsession with getting young women? A large part of that obsession is derived from our obsession with everything being new. Right? Being new is always good. I mean, you have an iPhone 6, 7, 48. People still run up to the store, sit in line, sleep overnight, wait at the iPhone store, pay $700 for it, and just to be like, oh, I have the new iPhone for all of 4 minutes until the next one comes out. and there's this obsession with novelty. First off, it's entirely superficial. We don't have, if you love women solely for their physical, then there's no point in having a wife. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It's a waste of everything. Because you can always get a prostitute. You can always get, you can always go to, a brothel. You can do whatever. Yeah,
or a bar.
Yeah, or exactly all the I'm thinking of the traditional,
Okay.
the traditional outlets. There's Tinder, there's whatever, right? So, there's absolutely no point. But if you want more than that, if you want more than just sex, which most of us do, then you should be looking into the quality of the woman and going based on that, right? And unfortunately, nowadays we don't. I don't know whether that's because a lot of us do feel like there are no quality women out there, unfortunately. But I think these are discussions that we need to be having as a community. Men together, women together, and then men and women together. I find it hilarious that we're talking about senators being productive members of society. That's wonderful. You know what? No, fire him. He is.
Get a real job,
No, you know what it is. First off, he's not only a blight on Canadian society, he's a blight on every black male in Canadian society, because we now take on these stereotypes, as we talked in earlier episodes. We all are responsible for our communities, and we are responsible to them. As an individual, I'm not just responsible for my own actions. I'm responsible for my peers, and what I mean by that is, I don't mean that, okay, well, take me to jail if he commits a crime. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that if I am a member of my community, that community has the responsibility of taking care of you when I'm sick, helping me out when I'm financially out, helping me get a job or helping me with my children. That's what communities do, right? Taking care of my elderly, that's what communities do. And then, but at the same time, as a member of that community, I am also responsible to provide all those things for the members of my community. And that includes things like education, right? Things like a moral basis, because when people look at me, they look at us. And just like I'm responsible for my family, like we think of community in this very lazy. Oftentimes, black people think of community in this very lazy, backward way. It's community is only there for me, for my benefit. But I don't have to invest in that. I don't have to do anything. It's there for me to take advantage of when I need it. But I'm not responsible for it, and that is painstakingly wrong. And when it comes to guys like Don Meredith, so-called honorable, which no, clearly not. When it comes to guys like Don Meredith, we too have to take in that shame. We can't just be in denial of, oh no. Well, he was our guy before, but he's not our guy now. Whoa, we don't want to have anything to do with him. No, he's our responsibility, and we have to shame him from those actions, and we have to show that we do not tolerate, we do not respect, we do not accept our people doing such things. And that's the only way that we recover from those types of things, by shutting him down in whatever way, socially or whatever. And this is what other communities do as well, which is why you can respect, a person when they, with the exception of clearly now with Trump and his, pussy grabbing and all that kind of stuff. But normally, that's what communities do. They say, oh, we don't approve of his action, and they distance themselves and say, no, this guy, we accept that he did wrong, and we move on, right? This is very different from, people might say that about, Bill Cosby or other people, and those are different scenarios, because Mr. Cosby, as far as I'm aware, and at this current point in history, has not ever admitted that yes, he did, in fact, consented to those things. So at this point, we are, giving him the benefit of the doubt and trusting that there's some sort of conspiracy against him or what have you, right? But for a man who did the crime, who's admitted to it, who's also admitted to it being morally wrong, there's no other recourse. There's nothing else to be said or done. Okay, if anything, personally, I would have him put in jail but once again, how the law is, it's legally consensual to, it's legal that he had sex with a 16-year-old girl, which I don't know, how sad our moral state has to be for us to consider that a legal act. But, whatever, that's my opinion versus the Canadian law, whatever. So, clearly not. I think I have to give kudos to
Rosemary Brown.
Yeah, exactly, Rosemary there, because she called him out on it, and I have to respect that as a white woman, calling him out on that, because she was fearless in it, and I think he's clearly grasping at straws, trying to stay in his position there, or have grounds to stay in his position. But no, we as black people should be extremely offended by that. Even more so because it creates a problem for us, right? Because when he cries wolf, then they don't hear the rest of us. When it is warranted, and when it is an actual racist situation, when he and his really doltish lawyer, cry wolf on us, well, we'll cry wolf in this situation. It makes all of us look bad. It makes all of us less believe. Like I said earlier, about responsibility. You have a responsibility to your community, and you're responsible. You are responsible for your community as well as vice versa. And that is not responsible for his community. Allowing us throwing us under the bus with him by making it into a race issue when it's not a race issue. It's a pedophilia issue, and you're disgusting.